What do you see? What do you wonder? How could you see math in this situation? What do you see? What do you wonder? How could you see math in this situation? All right, so let's think about, I'm going to hide the answers. What do you notice in this video? What are you noticing? Someone raise their hand and tell me. Don't unmute, raise your hand and tell me. What do you notice in this video? Bianca, what do you notice?
A bunch of school supplies.
Okay, there's a bunch of school supplies. What else do you notice? What else do you notice? Katya, what else do you notice?
There are a ruler in the background.
Okay, there's rulers in the background. Grace, what do you notice?
There's 3 spiral notebooks.
Okay, there's 3 spiral notebooks. Holly, what do you notice?
There is different colors of sticky notes.
Okay, there's different colored sticky notes. Michael, what do you notice?
There are colored pencils.
Okay, there's colored pencils. All right, now let's ask the next question. What do you wonder? What are you wondering about this video? About this situation that you're seeing? What are you wondering about it? Bianca, what are you wondering about it?
Why is there just like a bunch of school supplies on a table?
Okay, why is there a bunch of school supplies on a table? Bella, what else could you be wondering?
Why is everything colorful?
Why is everything colorful? Okay. Holly, what else could you be wondering?
Why is everything like filling up the whole table?
Okay, why is everything filling up the whole table? Tony, what else could you be wondering?
There's a bunch of notebooks and pencils.
Okay, there's a bunch of notebooks and pencils. So let's move to the next question. Where can you see math in this situation? Where could you see math in this situation? Camila, where could you see math in this situation?
Like all of the supplies, because you can use them to like add up something or multiply or divide.
Okay, so maybe you could use the supplies as like a manipulative. Holly, where else could you see math?
You can use like the sticky notes and put like little questions on it, so that
Okay.
when you do a test, you're ready, but you don't like know the answers. You just like put the equations, so you can just write it on paper, and then
Okay.
figure it out on the other paper.
Okay, so maybe you're using the school supplies to actually like take notes with and stuff for math. Tony, what else? How else could math be? How else could you see math in this situation?
You could use all the stuff to add and subtract everything.
Okay, maybe use all the stuff for adding and subtracting. Walter, give me one more.
So all of them are organized, so you can add like how many color pencils there are, or see how many material there is, how much material there is.
Okay, so that's very true. So it's very organized. So it'd be very easy to say like, okay, let me look at just the colored pencils. Let me look at just the paper clips. Let me look at just the notebooks, just the sticky notes. Okay, so you work in an office. Okay, I'm reading this little scenario. You work in an office, and it is your job to maintain the office supplies. Your boss wants to see a report on how many pencils you may need to be ordered. So how could you figure that out? What could you use to figure that out? What could you use? Holly, what could you use to figure that out?
You can use papers and a pencil and like write down notes of how you like know how to do that.
Okay. Okay, so write down maybe some notes on like how many you have, what do you see? What maybe could you make to help you? Holly's right in the sense of you could write it down, take notes. Bianca, what could you make to help you take those notes?
If you need like an equal amount of each color, you could like say, I only have 2 greens, 2 yellows, 8 reds. Well, I need this many more, that many more.
Okay. So, but what could you put all of that in to help you keep track of it? So it's not just on like a loose piece of paper with random numbers on it. What could you make?
A bar graph.
What could you make?
A bar graph.
A bar graph, okay, or something that starts with a T that I'm sure you've seen before.
Tally chart.
Holly, what am I thinking? Something that starts with a T.
Like those 10 blocks.
Okay, maybe. Thinking of a T, a tab. Table, a table. So you could use a table, right? Kind of like a Excel spreadsheet. You know how you can like, an Excel spreadsheet is kind of made into a table if you've ever seen one. I'll show y'all one. This is our attendance log. It doesn't have anything on it, but kind of like a Excel spreadsheet like this. And it has all the different little cells on it, and then it has y'all's names, right? So then I put little check marks whenever you're here and not here. So this is kind of what a table looks like. So you could kind of keep something like this, right? To kind of help you keep track of it all. So let's think about how we could make that table in a real life relationship, because whenever we make tables, there's relationships between the numbers when we make a table. We don't just make a table and put some random numbers in it, right? Because that wouldn't make any sense. Because then we would just be making a table for fun. And that would make no sense. That'd be silly. We have to make sure, yes, Grace, we have to make sure when we're making our table that our table actually makes sense. Because if it doesn't make sense, then like I said, we're just making a table to make a table. And that doesn't make, that's not any fun. We got to make sure our numbers make sense. And sometimes we even have missing numbers in the table, and we have to figure out where those numbers go. So we're going to talk about some tables, okay? So I have a problem for us. So Gina placed 6 eggs in every carton, okay? So she placed 6 eggs in every egg carton. So we want to draw a table to show how many eggs are in 4 cartons. So I want to know how many eggs are going to be in the 4 cartons, okay? So watch, I'm going to show y'all. So right now, all you're doing is looking and listening to me, okay? Because this is something that's kind of new. So I want you to make sure you're looking and listening. So I'm going to draw my table. Most of the time, the table will be drawn for you. So normally, you're probably not going to have to draw the table. Okay, so then I'm going to put my number of eggs, my model, and then my number of cartons. So I have my number of cartons, my model, and my number of eggs. Yes, Amira, go to the bathroom. All right, so I know that she wants to know how many are in 4 cartons. Well, that's easy because then I'm just going to write 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to number to 4, okay? Easy. All I got to do is number to 4. All right. Well, next I need to know how many are in those 4 cartons. Well, let's see. It says she placed 6 eggs in every carton. So that means on my model, I know So here's 1, here's 2, 3, because I'm putting the number of cartons, right? Because here's the number of cartons. So I'm drawing my number of cartons. 4. So this is going to have 6, because it says there's 6 in 1. So then this is going to have 6. This is going to have 6. This is going to have 6. Each one is going to have 6. Okay, so now I want to know the number of eggs in each carton. Well, so I could count. Well, okay, this has 1, so there's 1 and there's 6. So this one has 6. This one has 6 and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This one has 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. This one has 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay. So what could I have done that might have been easier than making the model and counting? Because there's 1, right? There's number of cartons and there's 6 in each. I could have done something else that might have been even easier than doing the model and counting. What could I have done? Oh, make sure you're raising your hand. Bianca, what could I have done?
You could have skipped counted by 6.
Okay, I could have skipped counted by 6. I'm thinking of some equations I could have used. Walter, what else could I have done?
You could have done the number of cartons times the number of eggs.
I could have done the number of cartons times the number of eggs, right? Because I know that there were 6 eggs in each carton. So this would be 1 times 6, right? And that equals 6. This would have been 2 times 6, and that equals 12, right? Are y'all seeing that? 1 times 6 is 6. 2 times 6, 12. 3 times 6 would be 18. 4 times 6 would be 24. So think about yesterday, or not yesterday, the day before, and actually and yesterday, when we were talking about our times as many, right? So there are 6 times as many eggs as cartons, right? Because I'm doing times 6. So there's 6 times as many. So I know that I would be multiplying by 6. Okay. Okay. So I want you to get your math notebook because I want y'all to do one with me because we're going to be doing these for our independent practice. So I want to make sure we're really good at it. Because now we're going to look at one that's a little bit different. We're actually going to look at one where the numbers are already filled in. Because a lot of times y'all are going to see it where the numbers are going to already be filled in. And you're going to either be filling in the missing numbers or you're just going to be asked to describe the relationship. All right, so you should have your math notebook out. Math notebooks. Please and thank you. Oh, I'm writing the wrong date. Today's the 19th. And our focus is we are looking at tables and real world relationships. Because that's what you're going to see this called as sometimes, is going to be real world relationships.
We're gonna write a lot.
Mm-mm. No, I promise we won't write that much. But I do need y'all to write this with me because I want you to understand what I'm asking.
After this, can we do a brain break?
Yes. Yeah, before we do our independent practice, we can. All right, so here's our problem. Each book at the store cost $8. Each book at the store cost $8. Then we're going to draw our chart. Ooh, that was not a straight line. So we're going to have number of books and cost of books. Number of books, cost of books. And then we're going to draw 4 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll have 4 boxes. So then I'm going to have the numbers. I have 2, 4, 6, 8 as my number of books. So the table is going to tell me that 2 books is going to cost me $16. Okay, so this is what my table looks like. This is what my table gave me. So how could I 2 times what could get me 16? Or should I do 2 minus? Should I do 2 plus? 2 what could get me to 16? Walter, what could get me to 16?
8 plus 8, 2 times 8.
Okay. So, and Walter also probably looked up here and saw that it says that it costs $8, right? So if one book costs $8, that means I want to write 1 times 8 equals 8.
16 divided by 2.
Okay. So 1 times 8 equals 8, right? So I know I'm multiplying by 8s. So look at what I want you to do. So if we make a T-chart, okay, and I put 8 up here, and I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So these are going to be my multiplication facts. These are what's going to go right here. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is fill in the ones that I know. So which ones do we know super easy? on our multiplication facts. Walter, which ones do we know super easy?
1, 5, and 10.
1, 5, and 10. So we know 1 times 8 is 8, right? We know 1 times anything is that number. 1 times anything is that number. Okay. Can someone tell me what's 8 times 5? Dimitri, what's 8 times 5?
40.
40. Okay. And then what's 8 times 10? What's 8 times 10? Katya, what's 8 times 10?
80.
80. Okay. What about 8 times 2? What about 8 times 2? Camila, what's 8 times 2?
16.
16. Okay. So if I don't know these next ones, look at what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw these little dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then watch. I'm going to say 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, so I know 8 times 3 is 24. So I can use these dots on this side of my T-chart to count on. So then I can look at the next one. Okay, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. And then the next one's easy because then I have 40 and I know I'm adding 8. So then I know I have 48.
To the next number, you can do 32 times 2
Okay.
equal to 64.
Well, hold on. I'm not there yet, right? Because I'm at 7. So 7. So 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56. Then 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64. 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72. And then I have 80. So we know with my table, this table right here, that I'm timesing by 8. Because we know this is 2 times 8 equals 16. Based on what this says up here. Because it says each book at the store costs $8. Well, if there's 2 books, then I need to multiply by 8. So then what would 4 books cost me? Isabella, what would 4 books cost me?
Miss Chandler,
Yes.
I can't hear you.
Maybe try turning up your sound. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So what would 4 books cost me? Look at my table. Look at the table we just created. What would 4 books cost me? You can find the number 4 and circle it.
32.
32, right? It would cost me $32. Okay, now do the same thing with 6. How much would 6 books cost me? Can you go find 6?
48.
Good. So it cost me 48.
64.
Oh, hold on, I didn't ask yet. Then I want to know how much would 8 books cost me?
64. You're 12.
Good, Walter. It'd be 64.
Okay.
Okay. So with your table, what you're doing is you're finding a relationship there's going to be a relationship between the number of books and the cost of the books. So this relationship is that there are blank times as many dollars as books.
Juliet, the one that you're writing.
Yes, you should be writing everything that I'm writing.
I did.
There are blank times as many dollars as books sold. What goes in my blank? What number? What number did we just use to do everything?
80.
Not
64.
Say it again, Holly.
8.
8. 8 was my number I just used to do everything with. So 8 would be my number that's going to go in my relationship, in that blank box. There are 8 times as many dollars as books sold. So 8 is going to be what goes in that blank. So when you have these real world relationship tables, okay, they're not always going to be multiplication. Sometimes they'll be subtraction. Bye, Tristan, I know you gotta go. Sometimes they'll be subtraction. Sometimes it'll be addition. Sometimes it'll be multiplication, okay? You have to figure out based on what they've said at the top as to what it's gonna be. Which word up here do you think helped me know that it was multiplication? There's a word up here that we use a lot in multiplication. Dimitri, which word do we use a lot that probably hinted at me that it was multiplication? Dimitri, you had your hand up. Someone said it. Which word up here helped me know that this was multiplication? There's a word I use a lot.
Each.
Each. This word each helps me know that it's multiplication. So I would find the word that's in the sentence that's up here on top of your table, because there always will be a sentence on top of your table. I would figure out which word in there on top of your table is telling you whether you should be doing addition, subtraction, multiplication. You're probably not going to see tables with division. You're probably going to see addition, subtraction, or multiplication. As far as I know, we have not seen a table with division, so you shouldn't see one. Okay, so your independent practice is going to look very similar to what we just did. Okay, it's going to look very similar. Are y'all good if I go to the independent practice and then
Brain break.
and then come back? Oh yeah, we were going to do a brain break. Okay. Hold on. Well, let me explain the independent practice and then we'll do a brain break.
To the bathroom.
Yes. All right, so for your independent practice, I just want to show you real quick, okay? So everybody knows what they're doing, and then we're going to take a brain break because I know y'all are tired. So you're going to do the one called November 19th, Real World Relationships. So you'll see there's a table just like the ones we just worked on, okay? And it says the video game store is having a sale of $10 off everything. If Miss Chandler just emphasized a word, what do you think that means? If Miss Chandler just emphasized a word like that, what do you think that means?
You just give us the answer.
Maybe, maybe not.
You did.
So the video game store is having a sale of $10 off everything. So you're going to fill in these two these two columns, okay? You're going to fill in these two, and then you're going to describe the relationship between the purchase price, which is this one, and the new price. So your relationship right here, your sentence might say there are blank times as many. It may say it's blank times less. There's blank times more. Okay? But you're describing the relationship. Okay? And then on the second one, it says there are 8 baseball hats in each box that was shipped. So you're going to fill in the missing numbers and then describe the relationship between the hats and the boxes. And this one should actually be really easy because Ms. Chandler actually already gave you kind of the answers to this table during our independent practice. During our guided practice that we did together. So this table should actually be super easy. Okay. So, yes, when we do the independent practice, I'll put you on the waiting room.